Turn it up. Turn it up. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alex Mondosian, this is part 3 of the Delta sales system. It's a method, it's a process, and right now I am standing at one of the wonders of the world. I'm in Yangon in Myanmar. It used to be the ancient country of Burma, sacred country, and here there's a giant pagoda right behind you. I'm going to show you what it is. This is a bell I'm going to be ringing in just a moment. There's significance to it, and part 3 is the E in Delta. Now, in part 1, we talked about what Delta stands for. It's an acronym. It's a sales system. D stands for develop a safe environment, but E stands for engage in meaningful dialogue. And that's one thing Buddhism does. Unlike other spiritual traditions, there are no missionaries. There's no one converting somebody. If you approach the spiritual tradition not once, not twice, but 3 times, then you will be taken in and taught from the sacred text. So there's no one at the bell. I'm going to ring it once, twice, 3 times. And the beauty of the Delta process with Engage is it's about the platinum rule. Do unto others as they want to be done unto, not do unto others as you want to be done unto. Now, the key, follow me, is to prepare to win. Engaging means planning. Now, there was a lot of planning that was put into this pagoda. Now, what's a pagoda? Well, I can tell you all about it. I can tell you it was built 2,600 years ago. There was a lot of engagement involved. But to really understand the amazing presence of what a pagoda is, you need to see it. And there it is. That was built 2,600 years ago. And it is said underneath and inside, the Buddha's hair is there. And this Buddha is Siddhartha Buddha, if you know the story. Now, in preparing to win, when you're in a sales situation, my good friend and 7-time best-selling author, Harvey Mackay, he said that all his books, starting with Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive, and then 6 others, he said that all his books could have been named Prepare to Win, but that would have been boring. The way he prepares his sales team to win at the envelope manufacturing company which he built, that's over $100 million a year in turnover, he has what's called the Mackay 66, and you can look it up, Mackay 66, and that's where you learn 66 things about prospects and customers, so you really get to know them, not only their birthdays, but their children's birthdays, and their spouses' names, their ex-spouses, etc. Now, meaning has an intention, and it has a direction. So when you're engaging in meaningful dialogue, that means it is two-way, and that means it's not one person trying to convert someone else, like a salesperson converting a prospect. That means the prospect is in the position to buy, which is what the Buddhist tradition is. Because there are no missionaries in Buddhism. There are monks, and I'm surrounded by many of them. Many of them are looking at me right now. But what's important is to understand that you create a buying environment, and there is no selling, there is no pitching, there is no closing. There's only connecting, and you develop interest so that people come in your direction. Focus on the prospect's issues. Focus on the prospect's concerns, and you can engage in more meaningful dialogue that way. If you create vulnerability and you go first, like a colleague of mine, Patrick Lencioni, talks about, go first, be vulnerable first, and someone else will want to be more vulnerable, and then you, and then them, and then you, and then you end up creating a level of vulnerability and an austere presence like that pagoda. This is Alex Mondosian. This is part 3 of the 6-part series of the Delta Sales System. E stands for engage in meaningful dialogue, and I hope you will do that. Don't go for conversion. Don't go for manipulation. Go for creating a buying environment so the energy comes to you. I'll see you in the next part.